Muscle up, ring row progressions. The ring row muscle up is a progression used to train the muscle up transition. The ring row muscle up is a progression from the baby muscle up as more weight is now placed in the upper body and there is less assistance from the lower body. The ring row muscle up intensity can be increased by elevating the feet and slowly placing more and more weight into the upper body. Set the rings so the bottom of the ring is at the same height as the top of the hip bone. The rings will stay at the same height for all ring row muscle up progressions. As you increase the height of the feet, you do not increase the height of the rings. The basic ring row muscle up is performed with the feet on the floor. Once you've mastered this technique, you can start to elevate the feet. In this variation of the ring row muscle up, start in the bottom of the ring dip position with the shoulder blades below the horizontal height of the elbows. From the bottom of the ring dip position, the elbows must move in an arching motion around the rings. The elbows will move from being stacked above the wrists to being stacked under the wrists. Slowly allow the elbows to move back as you continue to push down on the rings. As the elbows move from above the rings to below the rings, the force will switch from a push to a pull. There should be no grey areas in the transition. Maintain tension in the upper body muscles and do not allow gravity to take over. During this transition, establish a false grip on the rings by allowing the rings to rotate and the arms to be on the outside of the rings. Try to trace a line under the pecs as the rings move from beside the body to in front of the body. The aim is to move from the bottom of the dip to the top of the ring row while keeping the rings in touch with the torso. After reaching the top of the false grip ring row, slowly extend the elbows and straighten the arms. Notice as the height of the elevated surface increases, the hip flexion angle must also be increased during the ring row. The ring row muscle up is performed with the hips flexed, unlike the standard ring row that is performed with a hollow body shape. The higher the elevated surface, the greater the hip flexion will be in the ring row. The legs must remain straight, even when they are placed on an elevated surface. At the bottom of the ring row, the elbows must be locked. This will help to train the grip strength and mobility required for muscle ups. Just like any rowing movement, we start with the scapular retraction and depression before flexing the elbows. Focus on engaging the back muscles before bending the elbows and pulling the rings to the sternum. During the concentric row, the hands will rotate so the knuckles are pointing inwards. This allows the rings to be pulled closer to the sternum, which makes the transition smoother. Keep the rings in front of the chest and pull nice and high before starting the transition. Trace a line under the pecs as the rings move from the front of the body to the side of the body. The force on the rings will shift from being a pull to being a push as the shoulders move from below the rings to above the rings. Allow the hips to flex as the body moves into the bottom of the dip with the elbows stacked above the wrists. As strength and technique improves, start to increase the height of the feet to add more weight into the upper body. Perform the specified number of repetitions.